Shalom, Kahalo Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them, that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua, back with the WW3 Daily update. All right, so over the weekend, right, things happen, and so this little update is going to be from yesterday. But it's all very important as to the timetable and the prophecies that must come to pass before this thing escalates to the declaration of the World War III itself. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 49 and 20. All right. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom. Okay, very important. Here's what's going on. All right. And his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Teman is a major city in the land of Edom. So basically he's saying the same thing right here. But here's the operative word. Against the inhabitants of Teman. So you Edomites, you don't even know you're Edomites, first of all, but you are. Okay? Now let's read on. Surely the least of the flock, of what flock? The flock of Edom, the dukes of Edom. And who is the least of the flock of Edom? The Amalekites. Okay? The Amalekites. All right? Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's the beginning of World War III. I mean, it's already started, but this is when they're going to declare it. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Okay? The Most High is going to destroy them. This is the one he has perpetual. Wait. Let's get this. See if I can get this. Exodus 17 and 16. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right? The Lord will be at war against the Amalekites from generation to generation. Okay? Against. This is the least of the flock. Now let's go back. Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. There's that word, against. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate. How? With war. He's at war with Amalek from generation to generation. So who are the Amalekites today? Well, let's ask Johnny Storm. This is Don't Speak News, April 24th, which was yesterday, I do believe. Let me see. Yep, today is the 25th. Okay. And it reads, war updates. Russia demands what? The Amalekites stop sending weapons to Ukraine. Or else what? World War III. This is the fulfillment of prophecy. Amalek is drawing them out. Surely the least of the flock, Amalek, shall draw them out. So we're watching prophecy come to pass. So let's listen to Johnny. We'll go ahead and close up. It's just a little update. It's Monday.
Hey everybody, Johnny here. Don't speak news. News you're not supposed to speak about, and we've got some of that pulled up right now. Now, this is what I put up when I was away from the channel video-wise for a couple of days. I also put a lot of things up on Twitter and also the community page on the channel while I've been away taking care of these guys. I know we don't own the horses. We rent on this ranch, and occasionally the landlord goes away for a couple of days, and then I take care of them. So that's where I've been, but I have been putting a lot of updates on Telegram, Twitter, and so on. This one from Telegram from the other day, and so far, none of this has played out, thank goodness, because the Kiev regime was preparing some bloody provocations on the eve of Easter. That came from the Russian Defense Ministry, and of course, a lot of these provocations would have been blamed on Russia creating a flag which is false, right? We have to be careful how we say these things, but who knows what the algorithm is looking for this week. So we're just going to go with it. So anyway, none of this has happened, thank goodness. But even the Orthodox Church had been warned about provocations playing out inside of Ukraine over Easter weekend, maybe even in Russia as well. But it didn't happen, so thank goodness for that. Now moving on to the news of today. Russia ultimatum to Israel. Moscow has threatened to arm Hamas and Hezbollah with Russian weapons over the rift between Putin and Bennett over Ukraine. So you can see they're having an intense discussion here. And I'm sure they've had quite a few as the Russia-Israeli crisis is deepening, with Moscow sending an ultimatum and directly threatening the Israeli leadership with retaliation through Hamas and Hezbollah if it supplies Ukraine with military equipment. Now, a couple of things they're upset about were armored vests and so on. I'm trying to find the exact thing that they're sending over. But this shouldn't be any surprise to Russia, because this has happened before. Right here, from Haaretz. What was this, back in 2018, I believe? And human rights activists petitioned the courts in Israel to cease Israeli arms exports to Ukraine, since some of these weapons reached the neo-Nazi elements in Ukraine. And here they are, holding Israeli-made weapons as a Tavor rifle made in Israel. So that was going on in 2018. Here's 2022. Israeli weapons being used by neo-Nazi Ukrainian unit against Russia.
Now, wait a minute. What sense does that make? Answer me, riddle me this, Batman. Why are the Israelis, the so-called Jews, supporting the Nazis? Make that make sense to me. What's going on? Make it make sense. Can you do it?
So can you blame them for being upset? Because it continues. The Matador is an anti-armor weapon joint produced with Israel and has recently been seen used by the Azov Battalion, which has been widely characterized as neo-Nazi ideologically. And look at their flags. Look at their symbols. Look at their tattoos, guys. It's all over Telegram. It's all over Twitter and such, but nobody will show you here in the West.
Make it make sense.
Well, that's one of the reasons I'm here. But there's an anti-armor weapon jointly developed by Israel, Singapore, and a German company that's been seen in operational use by the neo-Nazi Azov Battalion against Russian military forces. So can you blame them for being upset? Just like they're upset with the West because they're sending weapons and such. And now British Special Forces are training local troops in Ukraine, serving UK soldiers are on the ground for the first time. And Russia's come out and said in their media, which you won't see in the West, that now they can officially say that London, they said, has entered the war. And now the...
Say that again? What was that? Now Russia can officially say what?
The war.
Wait a minute, let me get it all the way right.
Won't see in the West. that now they can officially say that London, they said, has entered the war.
London as in NATO.
And now the island of London itself is a legitimate target. So it's coming, guys. It's just a matter of when. In the meantime, everybody keeps rattling sabers. British Special Forces have trained local troops in Kiev for the first time since the war began with Russia. Well, I don't think they ever really left, guys. They may be rotating some new guys in, maybe rotating a few out, but they never really left. Neither did Delta Force for the USA, the French Foreign Legion. There's a bunch of foreign troops there, not just mercenaries, but actual regular troops. Anyway, officers from 2 battalions stationed in and around the capital said they had undergone military training, one last week and the other the week before. So Great Britain is there, guys, and they're training the Ukrainian National Forces now, as I'm speaking to you. And here it is. Britain threatens to use NATO nuclear weapons without consulting anyone. And Russia said they've located the SAS forces in Ukraine, and now they're telling them your island is the #1 target. Of course, that's the propaganda arm of the Russian media. But anyway, British SAS forces have entered Ukraine, Russian media reported, noting that they're experts in sabotage operations and guerrilla warfare. Their goal is to carry out attacks in Crimea, southern and eastern Ukraine, on Russian-controlled territory. Now, Moscow is threatening to say that this could be considered an official entry of Britain into the war against Russia. Russia-Britain tensions have escalated in the last 48 hours, with Johnson threatening Russia with non-NATO nuclear weapons. So he says Russia has said that London has entered the war against us. The appearance of the British SAS Special Forces in Lviv can be considered as a direct entry of London into an armed conflict with Russia. And then they added, London continues to show pure hostility towards Moscow. Great Britain sent military forces to the territory of Ukraine. We're talking about at least 24 members of the Special Forces of the well-known SAS of the United Kingdom Armed Forces.
Now that's huge. Okay. That's complete. What does that spell? It spells World War III. Nothing less. All right.
The British forces were sent in 2 groups of 12 each, specializing in sabotage, guerrilla warfare, coup plotting, mass demonstrations, the assassination of state leaders, the recruitment of agents, and the preparation of terrorist attacks. And they are currently at the disposal of the 16th Army Air Brigade of Brody, 16th Brigade Military Unit A2595, checkpoint B3765, in the city of the same name in the Lviv region. The British arrived from Hereford, England, where the SAS Cretenhill training base is located, and the 22nd SAS Regiment is parked. British Special Forces in Lviv can be seen as a direct entry of Great Britain into an armed conflict with Russia. So as you can see, guys, they took great detail here and time to put great detail into their statement. They told you where they came from, they told you where they landed, and where they're located now. And that they consider this an official entry into the war against Russia by London or the UK. Because it's all out in the open now. Nobody's denying it. Nobody's denying it. So, yeah, this is actual war. Russian troops are dying because of what these SAS troops have done and are going to do. And what NATO has done and is still doing right now, including real-time intelligence from their AWACS aircraft, showing Russia or showing Ukraine where everything is, where all of Russia's positions. So of course they can accurately bomb them or shoot rockets at them, like they did with the Moscow missile cruiser a couple of weeks ago. Russia lost a lot more sailors than they're admitting to. That was, a lot of people are saying that was their version of Pearl Harbor. Well, we shall see. Right now, just a lot of threats, just a lot of rumors, as usual. But as usual, we need to keep eyeing these things because any one of them could escalate into full-blown war. So remember, God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So don't be afraid. Just be aware, okay, and keep preparing. Now, obviously, keep praying. Get yourself right with God and with Jesus Christ so that you know where you're going when you leave this life, because it could end today for any reason. We're not guaranteed anything.
Okay. Don't need that part right there. You got to know who Yahweh Shimmy Hawashai is. Who is Jesus? All right. Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir. And when I say who is Jesus, I mean this. Quickly. Let's get Jesus real quick. So you don't know who is Jesus. This is Jesus. Now watch the name that I type in. See that? That's Jesus. Want to see? Let's go to images. Where's Jesus? Here's Jesus. Images. There's your Jesus right there. Okay. Who is that? That's him. Same guy. Same dude. Look at this. Here's who you're worshiping. Why did these pictures come up when I type in this name? Because that's Jesus. Jesus' name is Caesar Borgia. Now go and find out who this guy is that you've been worshiping. All right? I take this picture to Japan. All right? I say, who is this? They say, that's Jesus. Okay? Look at this. All right? 2 scriptures and we're out. What we got? Okay? Who hath deceiveth the whole world? All right, let's get Revelation 12. Is it 12? 12 and 5. Who deceived the whole world? If I went, okay, and the reason that I said that about Japan, because I could go anywhere in the world. I could go to India. Who's this? Well, it's not Buddha. Well, that's Jesus. Okay? This is Revelation 12 and 9. And the great dragon, count them, 1. That old, what? Great dragon was cast out. That old serpent, 2, meaning old serpent, meaning the serpent in the garden. 2, called the devil. 3, and 4. Satan. What did this guy, Caesar Borgia, do? What did this guy do? What did he do? Well, he deceiveth the whole world. And now he's being cast out. We know that his name is Caesar Borgia. Okay? And your popes and your cardinals are Caesar's angels. They're cast out with him. All right? Oh, but that's referring to the war in heaven. We got to get the war in heaven. Let's get it. Let's get the war in heaven. And there was a war in heaven, right, which happened simultaneous at his angels are going to fight against Satan and his blue angels. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, Satan, the devil, and his blue angels. Michael and his angels, Satan and his blue. Well, but it's in heaven. It says heaven, heaven. NIV. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his blue angel. And his blue angels fought back. Blue angels. Heaven, 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 heaven. War broke out in heaven, but it's in heaven. There's your war in heaven. Want to see it? Let's get the war in heaven. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the war in heaven. Here's your war in heaven.
What?
I think this is a game, huh? I didn't make it up. We're just reporting on it. All right, the prophets of the Lord. It's our job.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on it.
A whole fleet of them. Michael and his angels. Who's chasing him? Satan. And his angels got their crosshairs on the angels right here. Am I making this up?
Hey. My God.
My God. Okay? No match. You're no match for the angels of heaven.
They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
All right, that's enough. And with that, okay? With that, we hope that the elect were edified, you brothers and few sisters. And until tomorrow, shalom.